Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the last type of example for today. We're doing common factoring, and we're applying the method of using grouping. So all common factors so far have been monomials. Sometimes the greatest common factor is a binomial in brackets. So that's going to make more sense once you look at the expressions. So in this example number 2, we're going to completely factor the following polynomials. Wow, look at how complicated that looks. 4x w equals 1. So in this case, notice that the bracket term itself is what is common between these two terms. So we can factor that out. W plus 1. So then when you think about factoring now, we have 4x w plus 1 divided by w plus 1. So what is left over if you're to divide these two out? 4x. So that's where we're going to put in our bracket. Right, because what does that mean? We get back the original expression, which is what we wanted. But we don't put the bracket there. That's just for you to realize that you're correct. And then for the next part, we have 5w plus 1. And we're going to divide it out by w plus 1. That'll give you 5. So it'll be 4x plus 5. Okay, so let's try another example, see if we can build a pattern. Now right away we notice that we have the brackets that's in common between the two terms. So we're literally going to factor out the bracket term, y minus 3. Now to figure out what we need to multiply by, again, if you like to think of divisions, you could write 2y, y minus 3, divided by y minus 3, which is just 2y. And for the next term, you have negative 4 y minus 3 divided by y minus 3, which is negative 4. But hopefully just for these two, you sort of build a pattern. So whenever you have factoring by grouping, you take the bracket outside. And notice that the other two terms are just going to be the ones that were in front. So it becomes quite easy, right? So let's see if we can do some of these examples. All right, so let's practice. We have 4x plus 1 minus x plus 1. So we're going to apply factoring by grouping. X plus 1 term. And what do we need to multiply to get back our terms? 4 minus x. Okay, let's try this again. For b, again, so here we have the brackets x plus 8 is in common, so you're going to factor that out. And then, what do we need to multiply x plus 8 to give us back our first expression? Well, just 3x. And what do we need to multiply by x plus 8 to give us back our 5x plus 8? Plus 5. Wow. It's getting a lot easier. Oh, I spoke too soon. Now it's getting more tricky actually, because it's just variables. So you see, you look at the brackets, and they're not exactly written the same, but if you think about g plus h, that's the same thing as if you were to do h plus g, right? Because you could add 2 plus 3, and that would be the same thing as 3 plus 2, for example, right? So we could factor out g plus h, and then we're going to left off with e plus f. Good. And again, you could always check by expanding, right, to double check. The last one, again, we have factoring by grouping. We have the bracket x plus 3 in common. What do we need to multiply it to give us back the original term? Or just 3x. and for the second term, -2. And that's it. So this is a lot easier factoring by grouping. I hope you appreciate it.